Have you ever wanted to or tried to get your Amazon S3 bucket data and files over to your cloud data warehouse in Snowflake? Well, we're about to show you how you can do that in just a few minutes using datalakehouse.io. So, datalakehouse.io is a great conduit to get your Excel, JSON, and CSV files from your S3 bucket storage into Snowflake. Let's see how easy it is. So, we'll log into datalakehouse.io. We'll click on the sources option from the connections menu. And once we're here, we can just simply search for S3. Once we are there, we can click on add new source. And that's going to take us to our source configuration page. So from here, what we want to do is simply fill out the form. Take a note to look over here in the instructions where you can see some more detailed information about the individual fields. But technically what we want to do is just quickly create a unique name or alias for the connection. And then we're going to create a unique schema prefix. And this is going to be the prefix of the schema in your Snowflake database where the data from the bucket, so the files from the bucket are going to land. So this is going to be the prefix for your schema name there in your cloud data warehouse. Next, go ahead and put in your bucket name. So this will be whatever your bucket name that you have access to and you have the credentials to access. So Data Lakehouse is going to access that based on the credentials you provide here in a moment. Pick a region. If you don't know the region, just leave the default. Then next, we want to go ahead and put a folder path. So let's go look at our S3 implementation over here. And we're going to be bringing a bunch of marketing data into our Snowflake data cloud. So we want to go ahead and just get this folder, which I know is right off of the root, and we'll go ahead and copy that. And then we'll come over here and then bring that into our connection form. And important to input a folder path because we're going to be able to look at that folder path and all the subfolders and files that are beneath that in order to when we're pulling over data into your cloud data warehouse. You can put in a pattern, but we'll leave that alone for now. And then next, we have a few Excel files, CSV files, and the like that reside over there. So we'll go ahead and select that as well. Next, to finish this up, just go ahead and enter in your AWS secret key and also your access key, and then click on Save and Test. That's going to go ahead and confirm that Data Lakehouse is successfully connected, and then we'll move on to the next step. So once your connection is created, it'll look just like this. Then the next thing you'll need is a target connection. And you guessed it, that target connection is going to go be configured to point to our Snowflake database. So we can click on Need a Target here, or we can go back to the Connections menu and then click on Targets. Once we click on Targets, we're in a very similar menu, but now we're looking at the target connections. So let's go ahead and pick Add New Target for Snowflake. And here we can go ahead and type in information as well. Since this is just a demo, we're going to say something like demo Snowflake AWS S3. And again, your mileage is going to vary, whatever you want to name yours. And then you're going to go ahead and put in your account URL. So this is going to be your account code account code for your Snowflake instance. We recommend putting in the full HTTPS path. If you don't know how to get this from your Snowflake account, you can look at our support or our documents to find out more on how you'll do that. The next thing you'll do is you'll enter in the database, warehouse, user, and role information. Now, the important thing to note here is if you look to the right-hand side, you'll see some instructions for inputting your Snowflake connection. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll actually see a very handy script. So this is a script for creating a brand new database and a user where you can input, that you're going to load your data into in your Snowflake account. So your account admin can pretty much just copy the script, put it into a worksheet in your Snowflake account, and then just change the variables that you see here and run that script. And then after that, you'll just simply take all the variable data here and just plug this into your connection form here. So we've got a database name, we have the warehouse. Next, we'll just enter the username. And then you're also going to have a role. So once you've entered that information, then go ahead and enter in your password. Hopefully you have a nice secure password. Now there's a couple different options that you can use here to connect to your Snowflake account. But for right now, we'll just use username and password, your basic credentials here to test. And that's what you really want from a service account, unless you're using the private public key pair. Go ahead and click on save. And then once you click on save, You will then have a listing in your target connections. Lastly, what we're going to do is we're going to create a sync bridge. So the sync bridge, as I mentioned before, is that GUID that connects your source data and files with your target destination connection, in this case, Snowflake. So in order to create a new sync bridge, you'll just click on sync bridge, and then you'll enter in the information. So for this one, we'll say something as simple as AWS S3 to Snowflake. We'll pick our source connection from the menu and also our target connection. And here we can enter in the frequency as well as the time zone. And let's just do this every 24 hours. Once I click on Save Sync Bridge, then we'll return to the list. From this list, we can see all the sync bridges. Next, if you just want to run this manually instead of waiting for the next synchronized run on the schedule to kick off, you can come over here to Actions and then click on Run Sync Bridge right now. That's going to prompt you for if you want to confirm that you actually want to run the manual sync. Once you click OK, that sync is going to go in and kick off, and in moments you'll start seeing the data from your files landing in your Snowflake cloud database. Well, that completes this walkthrough of connecting Amazon S3 bucket data and files to your Snowflake cloud database instance. If you like that and you want to try it out for yourself, go ahead and log into datalakehouse.io and complete a free trial and try some of our other database and application connectors while you're there. Thanks for watching this walkthrough, and please enjoy some of the other walkthrough videos that we have available for you now.